Are you considering setting up an anonymous limited liability company and you're wondering, how do I open a bank account for an LLC that doesn't have my name on it? Well, I'm going to show you in this video how I get that done every day here at Anderson. All right, let's get started. Okay, so that's the thing. When we talk about limited liability companies, I hear from people that say, hey, if your name's not on the LLC and you try to go down to your bank, they're not going to open up an account for you, especially if that LLC is out of state, because there's no way they can prove that you're the owner of the LLC. Now, I get it. It seems to many people that unless your name is listed on the Secretary of State's website, there's no way for anybody to verify that that is your LLC. Well, actually, there is. And the way you do that is through the Internal Revenue Service. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you create your limited liability company, let's say we're setting up this LLC here in Wyoming, which offers anonymity, meaning that when we record it in Wyoming, Wyoming's only collecting the name of the LLC, the registered agent of the LLC, its business address. Okay, so none of these relate back to you or you don't have anonymity, and the name of the incorporator. That is the person that filed or organizer for the LLC, actually, that set it up. So if I'm the owner of this company, so Clint's the member and Clint is the manager of the LLC, all of that info is held completely private. So if I took my LLC and I wanted to go down to Chase Bank and open up a bank account, and they look up my limited liability company here, let's say the name of this is Toby's Investing LLC, and they look up Toby Investing and they say, well, your name's not Toby, number one, yeah, it's Clint, and your name's not anywhere on this LLC, so how do we know this is your company? We see this is why it's so important when you set up this LLC, you need to obtain an EIN, okay, Employer Identification Number for the LLC. So I set this up for the LLC. When you apply for your EIN and the number's issued to you, you will receive a letter in the mail that looks like this. And so this is actually a letter that I pulled, from the IRS that I receive these all the time because I'm creating lots of entities for my own investing. I received this one on an LLC that I set up last year. And as you can see here, I blacked out the name of the company in my EIN. I don't want you to know that's my company because it blows my anonymity then. But as you see here, it says Clint Kuhn, sole member. So when I applied for the EIN for this LLC, I stated I was the sole member for purposes of the application. Now, why is this important? And I want you to understand this, because when you're setting up these types of structures, oftentimes you're going to have a holding company down here, which is another Wyoming LLC, for example. And if you're setting the structure up, you want to make sure that this LLC is pointing down to this LLC for anonymity and for asset protection and things like that. So when I'm doing this type of planning, I don't want to apply for the EIN with this LLC as the owner. Always apply for it in your own name because it's going to send you a letter that looks like what you see right on the screen. It says Clint Kuhn, sole member. Now, I am not the sole member of this LLC. I've transferred it to a holding company after I got my EIN. But I need the letter to have my name on it. So when the letter comes in, it's going to have your LLC name, and it's going to have your name as a sole member, and it's going to have the EIN. This is how you establish to the bank that you are in fact the owner of this company. Because what other idiot would want to put themselves on someone's LLC and say, I'm responsible for all your taxes to the IRS? No one's going to do that. They understand that. So that's how you establish your identity. It's not that difficult. All you need is that letter, which is sent to you when you apply for your EIN. So in setting up anonymous LLCs, like I've just shown you, it's very easy to get a bank account set up. Now, on top of that, you should have an operating agreement. You want to draft an operating agreement that list you as the member, you as the manager. So if they need to verify this, they'll see the operating agreement where your name appears and that you've signed it. Now, you may also need a resolution as well to open up the account. So then you create a banking resolution to go with it. So you go into the institution, the bank, with those three things, and you're armed to open up your account. You have your EIN letter, you have your banking resolution, and you have your operating agreement. You shouldn't run into any problems. Last thing I'll throw on there as well, when you're using an LLC like in Wyoming and you're opening your account up locally, always give them a local address to get the account open. Do not try to use the out-of-state address. That will provide some problems for you if you try to go down that road. They just get really confused about trying to figure out what is a proper routing number. Make it simple, give them a local address, and you should get your account open without any problem. Hey, if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you're not yet a subscriber, what have you been waiting for? Now's your time to become one. Take care.